Well, in a couple hours too. They're talking about sporting events and tiny people, not midgets, but people like me. Too tall to be a midget, too short to be a superstar. Sorry, drinking some tea. Well, so first let me mute this TV. So I stand 5'3.5". I graduated in 1993, and I wanted to be a UFC fighter. Now, initially, before I ever saw UFC fighting, I used to watch shoot fighting, and it wasn't easy to find them. So, I don't know their names, but I do know that they were Asian, and they were my size. And they were beating the shit out of everybody. As a martial artist, 19 years old, I'm thinking, I can do this shit. The worst thing that happened, I get my ass beat. Well, the worst thing that could happen was how many times everybody said no. That was the worst thing that could happen. Because I never got the chance to show my skills to anybody, to get my martial arts on. And yes, cashews are great. So, I tried to send a note to the UFC. Unsuccessfully, they sent me a note back saying that I need to get my weight up. And this was in 1993. Yet the UFC didn't have weight classes, but yet they wouldn't give me a job. Because my height was 5'3", and my weight was 110. 120 soaking wet. So, I wish I still had the damn note. More like a postcard. But I don't have it. So, I'm like, damn. Try ISK. Didn't have a weight class. Havoc and One Championship didn't exist. UFC was like the only one. So my dumb ass went on a supplement collect binge. So I went and got the powders. Couldn't gain weight. Went and got the pills. Couldn't gain weight. Went and got the powder pill combo thing. Couldn't gain weight. No matter what I did, I couldn't gain weight. So I couldn't get in. I could just practice in my backyard, which is what I did. And so, understand that small people don't get looked at a lot. Which is why we have to do such dynamic shit to get y'all attention. Now, I'm 5'3.5", which I might as well be a midget in some sporting events. But the average midget is under 5 feet. They won't give me a job as a midget because I'm too tall. I wanted to be a wrestler, and I wanted to be a UFC person. And because I'm short and I'm a male, that was two combinations that wasn't going to work. Like I said, too tall to be a midget wrestler, too short to be a regular wrestler. By like 3 inches. Because Rey Mysterio is like 5'7". I'm 5'3.5". And Ray wears a good $175, where I'm at a $127 now. Currently. I'm not supposed to be that heavy. I'm actually supposed to be at $125, and I'm 2 pounds over. So That being said, I didn't gain weight till I got into the Army. The UFC didn't start having my weight class, my normal weight class, until I got into the Army. So by the time I got in the Army, I was 140 by the time I got out. And then depression hit and I dropped back down to like 115. I was fucked up. And I finally got my shit together. So we're going to Google some shit. What year did the UFC take in weight classes?
According to Wikipedia, in response to criticism from Senator John McCain that saw the loss of its television deal and the banning of the sport in 36 states, the UFC increased its cooperation with state athletic commissions and introduced weight classes in 1997, starting with UFC 12, and began introducing weight-specific titles.
But in 1997, which was only 4 years after I tried to get in, they didn't have my weight class. So 2 weight classes, mixed rules. All right, 200 pounds. That's all it has written here is 200 pounds. You see more fucking results. And start using weights. It still just says 200 pounds. I will never see 200 pounds. It's not giving me what I need. This is why I fucking hate Google sometimes. And the internet. Okay, now you're showing me something. Alright, weight classes in order. How many weight divisions are there in the promotions? Alright, flyweight, 115 to 125 pounds. That would be where I would fall. Bantamweight, 125 to 135. Featherweight, 135 to 145. Lightweight, 145 to 130. Welterweight, 155 to 170. Middleweight, 170 to 185. Light heavyweight, 185 to 205. Heavyweight, 205 to 265. Straw weight, which I don't understand how that works, but minimum none, maximum 115. That probably would be where I would have wound up if they had me in 1993 when I was in that weight class. Women's flyweight, 115 to 125. Women's bantamweight, 125 to 135. Women's featherweight, 135 to 145. And then they have nothing but a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, let's see if Google gets this, because I've Googled this before and it didn't really work out, and I Googled it before and it did work out. So, come on, damn it. What year did UFC get lightweight champion or flyweight champion? Okay, there is no flyweight. There's no titles in the 1 pound weight announced. Okay, so that's not what I was supposed to say. Okay, let's try this again. What year did UFC initiate the 125 pound weight class? I said 125. This bitch typed up 225. This is why I fucking hate goddamn Google. 125 pound weight class, UFC. What year? Happened in 2010, in case anybody cares. And 25 is giving me everything but the motherfucking year. Now, see, had I not asked for the year, we wouldn't have to have this conversation. Anyway, the bottom line is, when you're a smaller person, you have to do more dramatic shit just for people to take notice. If you go see some of the shit I did in Kung Fu Havoc #1 versus the shit you're watching here, you'll understand why my martial arts was a little bit more flashy back then, and I was a lot younger, and I could do things a lot better then than I can now. Plus, I didn't have to work with a fucking hip replacement, and I was doing pretty goddamn good. However, things happen, and you have to deal with it, and you have to accept it. So I didn't have a choice. I had to freaking accept the fact that UFC wasn't going to take me. By the time 2010 came around, I was a buck 35, buck 45 at best, buck 40. And then after I got out and I had to lose weight because of the hip and all kinds of shit. But I lost weight because of depression, long before the hip even became an issue. And then when the hip became an issue, I had to lose more weight. So it's like, yeah, you can't be over 130 pounds, man. You gotta slim it down. Well, that wasn't a problem because I slimmed all the way down to 115 thanks to stress and depression. So that was easy. Now, maintaining weight at 125 has been an issue because I'm 127 and I'm supposed to be 125. So I'm cutting back on certain shit. But like I said, to get into this business for acting and for sports fighting, no one notices you when you're 5'3". No one. And as much as I stay in shape and everything, no one cares because I'm not special. I'm just another average wannabe guy who they just pass over without even giving tryouts or chances or any of that shit. And this is the thing that we have to deal with when you're a smaller guy, especially now that I'm 49 years old. But they didn't have any of that shit when I was in my 20s and 30s and could actually go with the best of them. But no, we don't need you. You're too small. You're too small. Everything that I've been in, except for high school wrestling, I've always been told I'm too small. Now, I didn't do high school wrestling because it wasn't WWE wrestling. It was Roman Greco wrestling. And I liked the uniforms, but I didn't like the fact that I was going to have to get on all fours and have some dude coming up behind me because that wasn't cool. But at that time, I also was a 19-year-old homophobe. Or I was 18 or 16. Whenever I was in high school, I was a homophobe. I can admit that shit because I didn't know anybody gay. After I get to talking to people who were gay, homophobia went away. The bottom line is that when you are a small person, people look over you. People look past you. People aren't willing to give you half a shot. And that's not a pun. It's the fucking truth. And don't go calling me half pint. I had a teacher that called me half pint. That shit pissed me off. And I think between high school and work, the two things that pissed me off the most. High school, the teacher would always call me half pint. Hi, Mr. Yates, if you're still alive. And at work, some white dude would always call me chief. So yeah, the half pint chief never got a shot. Never got a shot. That's why nobody knows who the fuck I am. You just see some martial arts guy that's doing martial arts on YouTube and TikTok, and you're either going to believe me or you're not. Now, I can't make you see what I've been through, although that would be fucking great, because then I wouldn't have to keep having to explain this shit to people. Because it's like, look, just touch the screen. I'm going to telepathically do and show you everything. If we had that technology, everybody would know who the fuck I am. Even a few people who I don't want them to remember me would know who the fuck I am. But this is the thing with life when you are short. You don't get a lot of first chances, let alone a second. So, thank you guys for watching. I am Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.